I'm carrying on this morning where I left off last night, fishing the same pool and actually in the same spot as well. I've got an hour and a half this morning. I'm going to make the most of that. I'm putting some brown crumb out. Oh, watch my hand there. Putting some brown crumb out and maggots, and I'm fishing a single maggot on a size 16 hook, and I'm watching a little orange tip sticking up in the water, and you may be able to see it on there because I realised when I edited the clips yesterday and I was talking about a bite, which I'm getting right now, that you could actually see the float move, and I don't know if that's coming out. If you look closely you'll be able to see the float. Well, I would like to say disappear, but it's stopped now. Probably the small roach. I'll tell you what though, it's a good sign, isn't it? And I'm going to wait just a few more moments before pulling this one in. First cup of tea of the day as well. I do love my tea. I know people are into coffee. My wife is very much indeed, but I'm still a very traditional tea drinker, big mug of tea. I'm off to work at 10 today, so starting work at 10. That's why I'm getting some fishing in beforehand. Of course it's lighter an hour earlier now. The clocks changed, didn't they, over the weekend? So it's great for a shorter session in the morning, such as today where time's quite limited. I've got a telephone call to make to London. The New Saints is having a flag erected in the capital. So I've got to sort that one out and then eventually make my way down there and do some filming and interviews around that. And talking of the capital, I'll go to the Wales games anyway. I'll be in Cardiff a week this Saturday, and there's going to be an award, so hospitality involved in this one. Normally I get tickets to just sit in the stand, but this time in hospitality I've got to organise a player for that. So there's an award being presented by the FAW, Football Association of Wales. I've got to sort that out later as well. Got a couple of press conferences, an interview, got some website stuff to do and cover first team training, and then stay behind to cover the women training as well. So it'll be quite a long day for me. Start at 10, probably by the time I finish and get back home it'll be 10 on the evening. Not that I'm complaining though. And as long as I can get some fishing in like I am now, that's always the sign that I've got some sort of balance as well in my life. I don't mind being busy as long as I can get some fishing in. Fishing has always been the litmus test for me to see how busy I really am, because if I'm so busy that I can't fish, I'm so busy and I'm too busy. But if I can get something in like today, or even a short lure session on the way to work even, I'm happy. That's fine. I've got the fish on the end there. I think I might just about be able to get this one out without the hook. And it is a perch without a hook, without the landing net, should I say. It's well connected to the hook. And I'll give you an idea. I don't think I've woken up properly yet this morning. The hook and the net, and hitting my hand on the side there when I was throwing some bait out. We'll need the disgorge. It's only just inside the mouth, but I'll need the disgorger. Can you see the weed there? That's because there's still a fair amount of underwater vegetation in the swim at the moment. Actually, I didn't need the disgorger at all. The hook was right there on the edge of the mouth, masked in weed. It's a small perch, but as I said with my small roach yesterday, at least I'm not a blanca. When I say I haven't woken up properly, an element of truth in that. I've never been a morning person. When it comes to angling though, I can certainly get up and go fishing. But it does take me a while to get into my stride. Usually a cup of tea gets you sorted, doesn't it? This is my second one now, so I'm in the land of the living. I've had a couple of dips and little trembles on the float, so I know I've got fish out there, which is always good. When I pulled up, I was speaking to a man. He was going out for an early morning walk. He was 81. He was telling me he lives in the village where I live. Oh yeah, I've got one there. Oh, it's another. Oh no, it's come off. It's another perch, probably about the same size as the one I've had just there. I was going to use the net on that actually, but you get this, come on. I need to loose a bit more line off. But he was telling me he's a fisherman. He's got a boat on the canal in one of the marinas, and he's catching some nice perch himself, which is great to hear, isn't it? I love listening to stories from people. He was born in the village in 1940, still lives there today, telling me a little bit about that. Living history, isn't it? That's why it's good to share what we do, because if we don't share our knowledge and our experiences, when we pass away, they go with us. At least I've got plenty of videos and insights for my children, grandchildren and beyond to watch, haven't I, when I've long since departed this planet. Not that I'm trying to sound morbid there, of course, but for all of us, every day that we wake up to is another day less on this earth. But turn it into a positive. It's another day to make the most of. It's another day to get what we can from it. It's another day to enjoy. It's another day to not worry and not be concerned and not be anxious about things. It's another day, make the most of it. And I'm certainly doing that today, albeit with a small session for perch this morning, but I'll still enjoy the things that follow on as well later. I talked about the swim that I'm in yesterday's video. I've got a tree there that juts out some distance into the water, and then there's still underwater vegetation. Lilies are there, obviously dying off now, but still there. And I've got a little patch of open water just in front of me, although towards the bottom there is still vegetation that's there, and lilies and weed. So the last 3 feet, it's about 6 feet deep there, the last 3 feet no shot, so the hook and the maggot sinking naturally, so no shot to take it below the vegetation there. I have got about half a rod length out, very shallow, as in inches deep, very clear as well, and then it shelves off, and that's when I'm fishing, just into the water, because it gradually falls into deeper water as well. So I'm fishing just off the lilies that I can see beneath the surface of the water, so they'll still hold fish, of course, and the tree hanging over there, and it has gone quiet, and I'll tell you why. Because I've got a pike in the swim. You can see, because every now and then the fish scatter, and the pike, it's only a small one, but nevertheless it's big enough to kill the swim. Hopefully though, I'll be able to get a little bit more action before I pack away. But these things happen, don't they? I'm on my way home now. I'll tell you what, pike stopped play, and just that one perch as well. It's a fine line sometimes, but as I so often say, I'm happy to be on the right side of it this morning.